Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another English with Joseph. Well, the title of today's English with Joseph is Speak Like a Native. Always I'm being asked daily, how can I speak better? There seems to be a myth that a lot of people hold that somehow reading about English or learning grammar means that you can speak well, and this is only a myth. I've met some very nice people in my life who can't read or write, but yet who speak fluently. Likewise, I've also met a lot of people in my life who have spent their time studying books and can't speak. They're two very different things, and we learn them very differently. A good example is from children. Children do not learn to speak from books. Remember, children can't read or write when they say their first words, mummy or daddy. They learn to speak by copying the people around them. They learn to speak from their parents, perhaps even from other babies. There's nothing about a child that can intellectualize or make something an academic experience. Even as adults, we can't learn to speak by reading. When I meet my students daily, I always ask, what have you been doing to improve your English? And as always, I receive the same answer. Oh, today I read a book. Today I listened to a podcast. And I ask, yes, but did you speak? Oh, no. I don't have anyone to practice with. And this excuse is used a lot as some kind of way of negating the responsibility of learning. If you buy books about English, then you can study alone and you can learn all of the different parts of grammar which even English people don't know. If you ask an Englishman in the street, do you know the past tense? He'll probably know what you mean, but if you ask him to describe the conditional tense, he might scratch his head. So you buy a grammar book, and you know what tenses are called, but sadly you don't know how to use them. It seems a little bit stupid and a little bit backward. Of course you do need to learn grammar, there's no question about that, but if your goal is speaking, reading and studying is not going to help you with that. It's a little bit like going into the swimming pool, thinking that you've read all about swimming, so you know what to do, when in reality, you need to experience it. You need to be in the water with an instructor to show you. One of the best ways to learn how to speak quickly, and I say this a lot in my podcasts, is by using the shadow method. Now, if you really think that the shadow method is something that you can't do, then please come and talk to me because I'm happy to help you with that. But you have to understand that the shadow method is not an intellectual or academic experience. The shadow method is simply there to help you to practice saying the sounds. It has no other purpose. So if you're looking for the shadow method as an easy way to learn English, it's an easy way to learn speaking, but you still have to study the grammar as well. But it's about imitating. You know, a new student came to me last week. Well, he's not a new student, he was inquiring about classes. He sent me a message on Facebook. My Facebook is facebook.com/EnglishWithJoseph. And he said to me, I want to learn English. I said, okay, how much time do you have to study? And he said, "Study?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Well, I'm hoping that you'll teach me." I said, "Yes, I'll teach you because I'll be giving you homework and I'll be giving you exercises. And our lessons will really be exploring how well you've understood those and how well you've managed to understand and carry out the tasks I've given you." This came as a bit of a shock to him. He said, "But can't you just teach me?" I said, "Well, during a lesson I can teach you, but we'll be having a lesson, once a week? So I'll be giving you things to help you practice. I'll be empowering you." He found this difficult, and he went away, and he didn't come back. Maybe he thought I was Harry Potter, that I was just going to take my magic wand and wave it and give him English. Sadly, it doesn't work that way. It would be really nice if it did. It would make my job a lot easier, and it would make your job as a student a lot easier as well. And even if I could wave my magic wand to give you English, I wouldn't, because I wouldn't deny you of the journey. Okay, back to the shadow method. Well, you listen and you imitate for 20 minutes. That's the whole purpose of using the shadow method. Okay, you listen, you imitate for 20 minutes, and then you imitate the sounds of what you're hearing at the same speed the person is talking. So if what you hear is ba, say it. Don't pause it to make sure that you're saying ba correctly. Say what you hear. As I'm always saying, there's only 50 sounds in English, so within a few hours you should be able to know all of those sounds. For 20 minutes every day listening to someone talking, you'll probably hear most of the sounds in English. But the problem is when your mind starts to try to make this an intellectual exercise and trying to understand what they're saying. You need to practice speaking, and unless you can find someone who can listen and correct you in terms of the sounds that you're making, doing it with a radio broadcast is the best way, choosing some news or some comedy. I hope you found this helpful, but remember, to practice speaking is just as important as practicing grammar, and that doesn't necessarily mean that someone has to be there doing this. Okay, well, thank you for your understanding and for your patience today. For more tips on English, remember to visit my blog. The address is englishwithjosephblog.wordpress.com. You can also find me on Facebook, www.facebook.com English with Joseph, or on Twitter, McTaggartJ7. On my blog and Facebook, you can also check out my links to my Amazon books. Remember, August is a very quiet time for teachers, so if you're looking for lessons, now is a very good time to catch me. Thank you, and I'll see you all soon. Goodbye.